Good morning. Welcome to today's ad-free live stream. My name is Tyler, and I'm going to be helping navigate you through the wild world of day trading futures. Super pumped that you're here if you're here for the first time. So glad you decided to join us this morning. What you can expect during the live streams is reading live price action. We're going to be sharing my daily trading bias, and we're going to be taking real live trades to show you what you can expect during what it looks like to trade futures. Give you all the action, no fluff, just the good stuff. If you're watching this after the fact, you can watch this and jump down to the key moments using the markers below this video, where you can jump to the trades that I've taken, as well as a detailed explanation of what I was thinking and why. Lastly, if you are looking to take the next step, maybe in your funded future, in your funded journey, you can use the code DTJ and get 80% off Apex to get your next eval account. That's $29 for a 5K account and $33 for a 50K account. Lastly, I did post this on X. If you use TradingView or you want to get more serious and you like the TradingView platform, right now TradingView is doing their absolute biggest sale they ever do once a year. It is 70% off. I think it's like $200 for the entire year to get Apex Premium, which I use the 30-second time frame, and sometimes sometimes the 15-second time frame. Actually, one of my strategies is based off of 15-second time frame. But you can get that for 70% off over on the Apex website. I think I dropped a link in my over on X, but I really don't care if you use that or not. It's something that you definitely are going to want to consider, because I really enjoy the TradingView platform, and it's what you see here this morning. So with that, let's go ahead, pray, and let's get rocking and rolling this morning. There's a lot for us to be thankful for as we are on the cusp of Thanksgiving. So Father, we honor you, and we thank you for another day that we get to trade, Father. We thank you that you've given us wisdom and discernment to be able to take trades, and good trades, Father. Father, we just ask for your forgiveness, and we repent for choosing to gamble, choosing to take frivolous trades, choosing to allow ourselves to let greed take over. And we just reject that from this point forward, and we choose to submit ourselves to your leadership. And Father, we thank you that you've given us the ability to produce wealth. So Father, as we watch the charts today, give us wisdom beyond our years, wisdom that maybe not even makes sense. But Father, we just choose to listen to you and put our heart to you. In Jesus' name, amen. Good morning, everyone. How are we doing this morning? Sandra, Eva, Northern, good morning. I'm super glad that you're here this morning. Ruben, glad to have you. We have the market opening in about 11 minutes. On the charts, I already have marked out everything that I usually like to mark out. I'll go over those really briefly. I like to have the new day high, or the new day opening gap high, and the new day opening gap low. I marked those out. Those are sitting above us right here. You can see this small gap in price action. That's from yesterday's price action to today's. I like to add our midnight open. I drag that straight over from midnight. We have our opening range gap that we will solidify once the market opens at 9:30. So this is kind of just sitting here waiting for me to move it around to where I need it to be. But it also gives me an idea where price is before we actually open, so I have an idea. Many times I just forget about it completely, so that's why I started doing that. What is interesting to me is I put our daily high, our previous day high, and our previous day low on the charts. Now, our previous day high is sitting right here. Our previous day low is sitting right here. We are much closer to this previous day high. It doesn't mean we have to hit it. We have a lot of news today, so I think we do hit a high. If I'm partial on a high, I think it's this one. I do. But I also really like the London low and these equal lows that I dropped right here. Now, London low is one of those levels that I will put on my chart if it makes sense. Since it's a swing low and it's London low, I'm going to mark it, and it hasn't been ran yet. The London high has been ran. So we got 4 p.m. right here. We have 5 a.m. We have right here, technically we could call this a London high. So we're going to actually mark that. It's after 2 o'clock. So usually I like it between 3 and 5, but 2 and 5 technically works. So I'll drop that there. So we got London high, London low. We got previous day high, previous day low. We got these equal lows here that are really attractive. And those are the levels that I have on my chart. Everything else has been from previous days, as far as previous day price action. And that's kind of where we're sitting here this morning. On a higher time frame, we got 8 minutes before open. When we take a look at the daily, time frame, we ran yesterday's low here, and I mentioned that I don't see us hitting the highs. So we never did hit the highs. Now, if we hit this high, I think there's a probability we run this high as well. Now, that would be a very, it's not that far away. This level is at 21,024. And this is at 21,080. It's not too far away, to be honest. So that's not unrealistic for that to happen. The other thing is that we still have this volume imbalance that we have not closed. Now, ICT talks about volume imbalances, that he will use these as levels until they are closed. So I'm going to leave just this portion of the fair value gap or this volume imbalance on the charts. We know we've been messing around in this daily fair value gap. It's just in the way at this point. Could we see higher prices? Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, we've been acting like we're going to go higher this whole time. Now, I've seen this pattern on lower time frames where we slowly. It's like it's trying to convince you that it's getting ready to roll over. And then once we get above it, above the fair value gap, it like explodes. I've seen that happen many times. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen here, because there's no way that I can trade from that narrative. But it would suggest a push through this high or this previous day high and the day before. So those I'm watching, and then I'm watching the equal lows. If we get through the equal lows and we push through it, and we can close below the new equal beating gap low, I may be interested in lower prices, but I'm not sure. I'm going to need more details to kind of gather that information. If we look at the 4 hour, this is what is interesting towards the the London low, is we have the 4 hour that made a wick here, or made a equal low here. It didn't run the low, and then it came back down here and didn't run it again. So depending on where this closes in the next 30 minutes, if it closes without running this low and it's relatively within this range, I would be interested in price potentially either running higher first on the 4 hour or running lower first at the 4 hour, and whatever direction the 4 hour runs first, I would be looking at it running the other way to grab liquidity. So if the next candle opens here and we run to the previous day high without running these lows, I'd still be interested in seeing if it wants to hit these previous day lows. Or interested if it would want to hit the equal lows in the London low. We're just going to have to wait and see what kind of price action we get. But that's kind of what I'm looking at here this morning on a higher time frame. When we drop down to the 15 minute, the 15 minute has found resistance inside this last 15-minute fair value gap sitting right here, and the midnight open, and also a breaker sitting right here. So multiple levels that happen for resistance, but that's my idea there. Bullish probably mostly is my gut. I'm more bullish than I am bearish. Holidays are usually bullish as all the big fish on vacation, leaving the markets to the little guys, and we a bullish group. I love playing shorts though, man. Mike, I love playing shorts. Those are probably some of my favorite trades, is going short. Got some low resistance liquidity right here. Looks really nice. What do you guys have planned for Thanksgiving? Are you guys having family in town? Are you making a trip? We have my sisters and her boyfriend has flown in. And then my mom lives about 5 minutes from my house. So, and my brother lives in town. I have one brother that's in Florida. They're not going to be coming. We have this inversion right here. It just closed. I would be, based on that aggression, I wouldn't be surprised if it runs for this low here. Family's local, Eva? I enjoy Thanksgiving and Christmas are my favorite holidays. I mean, it revolves around being thankful. It revolves around Christ. It revolves around family. So it's very enjoyable for me. And I'm a people person. I like to have as many people in my house as, not as many, but I love having people in my house. All right, so we just almost made those lows. Let's see if we can get that here. Looks like we want to run lower at the moment. Unless it wicks lower right there. Does it get it? And yes, it does run lower. Nice push lower. Look at that stab of the equal lows right there. That's a heck of a move down to those equal lows. Let's see how we react to those levels. I mean, that's all in one candle, folks. That's crazy. I'm getting my copier set up here. We do have news at 10 o'clock. So, I mean, price action is looking really smooth right there. 9:30 did not work out today. I've been noticing a couple things I'll share in the Discord that I'll continue to share. I'm still refining it, still working on it. But that was, it did not win, no. I did take it though. Did take it. Not on my copied accounts. It was not on my copied accounts. Still testing it out. I was taking it on my copied accounts, but it was not executing completely. So I think I might use that on a personal account. Pete, good morning. All right, I'm done for the day. All right, sounds great, my friend. Let's see. Where could we be running to? That is the question. We could do previous day's London lows. We never ran. We also have news. So news is at 10. What do we got? At 10 o'clock here this morning, we have core CPE. At 8:30, we had unemployment. What did the 8:30 candle look like? Just curious. A little candle. No inversions on the 32nd to the downside here. But if I'm honest, this looks like it could be forming a market maker sell model. And on the 1 minute, do we have a fair value gap? I'm not going to call that a fair value gap. Technically it is. But I mean, it's 50 cents. Okay, it's 3 ticks. I'm not calling that a fair value gap. LJ, what's going on, my friend? Nice sell-off right off the open here this morning. I mean, it looked really nice right before open. We stayed right above this swing low, made equal lows, and we opened right here. I was partial to seeing it just drop right there. So we got the London low, the next London lows from yesterday is sitting right here. So we're going to keep an eye on that as well as a level. Now, if it gives us a fair value gap to move lower, let's say if we get above this level, get up here. The 5 minute also would have us tag the 5 minute if we do that after the next 2.5 minutes. Oh, Pete, we've all been there. I've been there. I've had my head in the couch screaming, wondering what the heck am I doing? I've had that many times in the past. I feel you. We don't have anything here. Everything is just consolidating. Just a nice quick sell-off right here with the consolidation. I'm not going to do anything for that, at least the next minute and a half. I want the 5 minute to close, and then I want this to give me a 5 minute fair value gap. It also would give us a breaker at the equal lows and London low. What do we got at 9:45? Chicago PMI. You're correct. We're packed full today. Look how the 5 minute is about to close. We got a large wick on the a decent wick on the 5 minute, and it looked like we were going to get a bigger wick on this 5 minute, but we'll see where this candle closes. Morning, Patrick. The 1 minute showing us an order block here, a wick up into that order block body, and then we see the drop lower there. Did we tag it? No, we did not. It looks like we tagged it though. All right, let's see if we can get another wick right here to tag it and to close like this one. Got an inversion right here. I don't like it since London lows is right there. Not my favorite. Looks nice though for the purge, but I'm not interested in that. It could easily just run that, but with London lows sitting right there not tagged, I'm not going to mess around with that. Bias is bearish, LJ. Wow, ES looks completely different than NQ right now. Here's the sell-off from NQ right at open, or here's the sell-off in ES from compared to NQ. ES came back and ran its highs. NQ is not even near their opening price. We got opening price right here, and then I forgot, let's drag our 930 price here. That's 930. There's just nothing there. So this inversion did fail with the close of this candle, yet it didn't run for these lows. Outside of that one 30-second fair value gap, there's not another fair value gap in all of this price action. So it means sit out. Don't do anything. Wait, since we got news in 3 minutes, I'm probably not taking a trade till after that. And then if we get too close to 10 a.m., I'm probably not taking a trade till after 10 a.m. as well. Let's see what happens at 9:45. ES looks bullish. ES is, we've made an SMT on ES. This low right here is an SMT with this low. Wow, yeah, this is a lower low while ES gave us a higher low. So we could see higher prices. We'll see if it wants to give us that. ES is definitely more bullish than NQ. Yep, here's a change in state of delivery, but we also did just deliver to this fair value gap right here. That's initially what I was looking for, is seeing if the next candle could give us a tag of that 5 minute. We'll see if it wants to close it here. Doesn't look like it wants to. There's a 30-second right here with a sweep of that liquidity. And that's also the news candle right there. I like that inversion if we don't close below that. But ES is bullish. NQ looks bearish. That's just indecisive at the moment. Gold is up 1.2% right now too. So no trade on this inversion. Closed and ran the liquidity. Nothing significant there. Does break-even trades cut into the apex? No, not at all. Trailing drawdowns are amazing, or break-evens are my favorite thing. No. The thing about break-even is if you're taking a break-even trade when you're up 40, 50 handles, that's a little bit different. You shouldn't be letting that happen. But 10, 15, 20 handles, absolutely. I would move stop to break even 100%. All right, let's see if we get our first fair value gap. I'm not counting this as a fair value gap at the 931. Nope, no fair value gap still. We did just sweep this swing high right here. We haven't closed this. Only if you let it run up crazy. Yeah, I mean, if you're letting it run up a lot, it should look more like this. All right, so let's say you get in here. We initially go lower, then we start breaking higher. Okay. When you get a nice push, you could have some up and downs in here, but when you get a nice push and you get a retracement, as soon as that breaks above that and creates an order block, you should be moving your stop from down here to that swing low. So you should be being stopped out in profit at that point. That's what I would want. In case that the market does go crazy and decides it just wants to flush lower, you get stopped out in profit and you don't lose all that profit and it doesn't work against you. If it runs 100 points in profit and comes back to break even, then you lose 100 points of trailing drawdown. Yes, you do. I mean, you're going to have trailing drawdown no matter what. Travis, you're going to have trailing drawdown no matter what on that. So that's why you move your stop higher to stop out in profits. Hi all, I'm new here. Rachel, welcome. Glad to have you. So a lot of this is going over my head. I'm studying hard though. Came across your channel a couple days ago. Look forward to sitting in and learning. Well, Rachel, I'm glad you're here. The best thing you can do is not take a trade right now. That is the biggest lessons that you can learn is when to take a trade and when not to take a trade. And when price is really tight and overlapping each candle like this says do not take a trade. This told us, hey, we might have good price action. This candle is, so I look in candles in pairs of 3. 1, 2, 3. Candle number 1 and candle number 3 are really far apart, leaving what's called a fair value gap. When we get fair value gaps, that means price action could be good. Doesn't mean it will be, it means it could be. And this candle told me it could be good. But then the rest of the candles start overlapping with each other, and those three paired candles are all overlapping each other, giving really choppy price action. So this is something you want to just stay completely out of and not trade. That's why we're just sitting here waiting. I'm waiting at this point till 10 a.m. 10 a.m. New York Standard Time. If you look at the bottom of the chart, I don't know if you can see that there. It's always New York time. We always use New York time. Sandra, we have a large fair value gap on the NQ 1 minute at 928. I like to try to find my first fair value gap after 9:30. It's something ICT's talked about. And it looks like we're going to get a second. We're going to get some displacement here. Look how this wick stopped right below that London low. I would like to see it hit this and then it give us the freedom to start moving higher. That's honestly what I'd like. I would love for it to leave this fair value gap right here. I don't want that to close. News at 10. We do have a small little breaker overlapping with this fair value gap. So price wicking into this fair value gap and not closing above it could be a displacement lower. This can't look how this candle did touch the low of that candle, and that is a breaker. High, low, higher high, and this high also swept this 5-minute right here. So let's see if it wants to displace lower based on that model. It should. Let's see if it wants to. There it goes. Good morning, Deborah. Ted, you played the breaker? Congrats. It's not a bad setup. I just, right before news, and it was inside of all this consolidation that I wanted to see the first one play out with before I do anything. I'm not going to have no FOMO today, boys and girls. No FOMO. Just going to watch price. Look for a decent setup. Wasn't a bad trade at all, though. I mean, it really wasn't. It was a decent setup. We had a target. We had the breaker. We were tagged. We had a fair value gap showing displacement. A lot of good things there. So we do have this previous day low. We haven't hit the previous day high. So this previous day low is still in the cards, I guess. But London low is, this low is really as far as I really want to see it go. Honestly, the PCE or whatever's coming out at 10 could change, cause it to just change directions too. .30 has a lot of low resistance liquidity right here. Primed for a nice push higher. No entry model down here. So we wait. Only thing that looks decent is this fair value gap to the upside. ES did not make a lower low. Here's what ES looks like. It's making higher lows. Even on that big displacement lower here, we didn't get that on ES. So we ran into this up close candle, this order block right there. Have a series of down close candles, consolidation. See if we can push through this order block. If we can get through that order block, our next point of resistance is going to be this level here, or the lows of this series of up close candles. Yes, it's kind of choppy, but if you look at the 5 minutes, nice and clean right there. 5 minute looks nice, so we're going to see how we want to react to this level there. Because that is a bearish order block. I'd like to see us get through that to move higher. Give me a second, folks. Wife is calling. I really hope we don't have another trending day lower. I'm not a fan of trending, but even still, we could have played off of the order blocks here. So we have an order block there, we have this order block right here, but we don't have any fair value gaps that are really attractive to me. There's a tiny one right here, but it's not obvious. ES is sweeping those higher lows right now. So if this continues, all evidence is pointing towards lower prices. And that was also 10 o'clock. That's 10 o'clock candle. I'm looking at the hourly. Hourly swept the low. What did the 4 hour do? The 4 hour also swept the low. Okay. $15 swept the low as well. I'm liking, I like that. I'm not going to take this inversion to the upside simply because we've had everything showing to lower prices, but I do like this a lot to run to that high. I'm not taking it. I want to see it work. Why am I not taking it? Because I've seen these trades fail, especially when we're trending lower. And this is definitely against the trend at the moment. There's a 1 minute right there. Those are all to the upside, and then we have this inversion right here to the downside. We've stopped at that 1 minute multiple times. Let's see what happens if it wants to roll over here. I may be interested in that. Is my micro screen working? All right, so it looks like, let's see, this 1 minute's going to close here. Let's see if it wants to close. It did not close. That 1 minute did not close. We did dip into this inversion, or this fair value gap, institutional order flow entry drill. A nice tiny little wick in there. See if it wants to run higher from that or not. Being very patient here, folks. Another tag into that with an explosion higher with 7 seconds. Let's see where it closes. That's just nasty. Still no close. Now we are looking at, did not close above that 1 minute. Selling pressure is 2 times the buying pressure. I mean, it's definitely selling off here. And we just haven't had a close below that London low on the 15-minute. I don't know if we've even had the 5-minute has. If this is aggressive and we close aggressive, I would be interested in playing to the downside and seeing if we can get that. Being a part of the trend sounds more attractive than running against the trend. Just, we are at a key level. That's the only thing that keeps grabbing my attention. And if we're going to have a displacement, I mean, it looks like we could have one soon. All right, there's our first close above that 1 minute. First close above the 1 minute, and let's see if it runs that high. I'm not taking this. I just was, at that point I decided I was looking for this short and not interested in the long. Yeah, not every fair value gap is going to work, especially if it's going against the trend. You just got to be careful. Let's see where it closes. This trade is still valid. Stop would be moved to break even as soon as we close above those equal highs right here. Do you see any volume imbalance on higher time frames? Yeah. There's a volume imbalance on the daily. This green section is all a volume imbalance on the daily. Even if I was in this trade, I'd get out because I don't like how long we've been sitting there. I don't like trades that just, especially on inversions where it doesn't move. I don't like that at all. I'm interested in this. All right, I'm going short here. Let's see what happens. I'm selling 3 at that low. We just hit that low. And I have 2 remaining. Stop should be moved to break even, which I'll move that here in a second. Let's see if it can still move lower or if it just is going to slap me out. I took 3 contracts at that low. And rest stopped out at break even. Now that 1 minute looks amazing. This 1 minute looks beautiful now. And the 30-second. Look how we ran the low, but we did, and look where we closed. Now I would love to take this long. But if it wants to run lower, that's fine with me. I got stopped out. and got a decent profit because it was 20 handles. Copied on 6 accounts. So now it rolls over. That sucks. I hate that it stopped me out there. Because if it's going to roll over like this, that's just sucky. Sucky, sucky. This is why you take profit. You have to take something. And I took 3 contracts when we hit that low. When we hit that low right there. But I mean, you can't really complain about 20 handles, guys. I mean, if you're going to sit in front of your chart and yeah, you can pout a little bit, just, you know, that look at it run now. But come on, I mean, we just made 20 handles in about 15 seconds. That's all we need. And that's what I preach every single day. Is 10, 15, 20 handles is all that you need. And we got that. I could walk away right now and I'd be happy. I really was hoping that close of that wick right here was going to give us an inversion right here. That would have been fire. That would have been, oh, I would have been in that so quick. That would have been an explosive move. I was looking. We do have some ways to go. The only way, yes, that would be the only way, is if we come back and somewhere inside of this wick or this low, hit that order block, and you could do it based on the order block, because that's a bearish order block. That would be reasonable. That would be reasonable to take. I'm just, if I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna lie, with the holidays and everything, and I just want to end green. I don't want to take any unnecessary risks. And while I'm not opposed to doing that, I've done it before. I don't know if I personally want to do it today. And your situation may be different, right? Your circumstances may be different. Maybe you didn't take that trade short. You just watched me took it, and you're still waiting on an opportunity. That's completely different than me having already won a trade. That's completely different. So each one's circumstances are always different. Looking back, if I was to do this differently, here's probably, because I'm not going to jump in unless we get a decent retracement here. If I had to do it differently, I think this is what I would have done. If having this here and the close below, I could have manually said I'm not going to close that. I think we're going to see lower prices, which I've done before. That's an aggressive inversion right here to this high. This high should be hit. Sorry folks, my wife is calling again. So the 1 minute did not close. 30-second failed. That sucks. And when I was looking at this and then my wife called, I was only looking at the 30-second. If I saw the 1 minute overlapping with that, that's what I would have waited for, is the 1 minute to close. So we have another inversion to the downside. Relatively low risk. Relatively low risk for this trade right there if you were to take it. I don't think we're going to get that right now. Yeah, if you have that urge, jumping on to demo is always a good thing. Yeah, I'm liking this aggression here. 1 minute still has not closed. We have an order block right here. Let's see if we can close above that lower order block. We're not in a macro anymore. Macro ended about 4 minutes ago. The 1 minute does not have that swing high. It just has the fair value gap. So, I mean, it looks decent. Low resistance liquidity right here. Should pop right through that. That's what I would want to see. It's almost not worth it because it's only 7 handles. You would want to reach for 10 at least. So once we run that high, stop needs to be moved to break even right now. It's just not very. So if it stops out, it stops out. We run that high again. So there's your high sitting right there. Equal high is made. Stop should be at break even. What you can do is, all right, we were violated. So did that stop loss save us? That's the next question. Did this stop loss that we were in save us? That's the thing that I always look at. And for me, 1000% yes. I'm like, yes, thank you, Jesus. I move my stop to break even. That's why I don't. If I get stopped out like I did on this last trade, I'm not going to complain. Yes, I am. I'm going to complain just for a minute or two. But then I'm going to move on because it saves me so many times. Yes, I could have had this giant trade. I could have had a few $100s, but it's okay. I'll get another one. There'll be another one. Another opportunity. And we have potentially this one right here. If it closes aggressively, I would do that. I'd be moving my stop relatively quick because I've seen these candles not run these lows on the second attempt, especially if you've hit a key level. I don't know if we've hit that key level or not. Where it will come down here, stop in this rejection block, and then move higher. I mean, it looks like we could go lower. We did just hit a 5-minute fair value gap. I like that. I'm going to sell right there at the low. Let's see if we get a little push here. I'm not going to let that run against me. I'm stopped out at break even. What I've seen those aggressive candles will do is they'll run the low and then they reverse aggressively. So I'm not even going to let it come back against me. Small inversion here. Can't really do anything with it. Don't have a fair value gap there. Let's look at, what does a 2-minute look like? Look at the 2-minute, how that's closing right now. I would say this is bullish signatures. Signatures, not price action. It's just signatures, meaning this could run higher, but we are obviously in a free fall. I'm just saying. We run the low but close above it. That's not necessarily what you want to see. Yeah, it's getting close to the previous day low. I don't think it's going to run it on one stab towards it, though. That's not how I normally see how I see it run. ES made equal lows. So that's a good sign for potentially seeing that stabbed through, at least. Look at the 15-minute here. Here's the 15-minute, or here's ES. All these, this right here. And then if we run this level, a lot of low resistance liquidity here. So yes, there could be a flush to the downside, but I think it depends on this close here in the next 5 minutes. There's nothing here for me to take to the downside. You do have a breaker here, but I didn't take that. All right, ES just broke and Q just broke. Let's see how ES wants to respond to that. I don't see any opportunities to the upside as far as inversions that make sense. These are all just order block opportunities, I guess. And I'm just not going to take them. Not going to take them. Who thinks we're going to hit the previous day low? Who thinks we're going to hit that level? Okay. Okay, a couple people. Let's see what happens here. I mean, on a higher time frame, I've been waiting for this market maker sell model to complete. It's taking so long that I started questioning myself. I wanted it to run all the way down to here. Dang, look at that. Just a beeline towards that low. Order block. That's your opportunity if you think previous day low is going to be hit. I'm not taking it. I've already told you that I'm not going to do that, but it's right there. I mean, that is what we've been talking about, Sandra. That right there would be the opportunity. Now, where would I say that idea fails? At the midpoint of those up close candles. So I'd say right there. So your stop loss would want to be something like this. So you need to risk your size appropriately. Somewhere right there. Did that inversion close? It was too close to tell. Yes, it did. And did it hit? Equal lows. Nope. Nope. I've been burned too many times. I've just been burned too many times. I'm not doing it. Especially when we're this close. Already in discount. There's a more convincing close below it, but And we really didn't sweep any liquidity. We just rolled over. If we run this high and then roll over to a fair value gap and inverse it, I would be more interested in that. It's not running lower like we want it to off that order block. Kind of hanging out right above it. Those are the kind of trades that I took early. I've taken so many times before. I'm like, oh, look at the obvious low. It's ICT. Look at the obvious low. It has to hit this. It's gonna hit this. I'm going short. And then we linger, run the other direction. Yes, it would work sometimes, but I'd be burned more than I would have wins. So I'm currently not in that trade for anybody that's joining. We're just watching this out. We're playing this out based on the order block. Yeah, I mean, this is the order block. That is the order block. Nice low resistance liquidity right here. Just do us one of those. Quick stabs lower. That's how I'd want to see it run right here. Decisively. Straight up consolidation right at this level. Nothing pretty in this right now. There it is, folks. It just played out. Congratulations to those that took it. Did anybody take that? I didn't. Told you I took the only obvious trade for me this morning, and that was this inversion right there. That inversion right there was the most obvious. And then I did take this one here, but I got out of the trade immediately when we ran this low and started moving back up and just let it stop at break even. All right, Scott. Way to go, Brian. Patrick almost gave you a heart attack. I know those are. I mean, it's tough. Now you can see it's falling. This is what it does. It gives you a heart attack, gets you to leave the trade, and then it just runs. This is a trending day, trending lower. I like these equal lows being ran. If it would give us an opportunity. You were in at 10:05. Brian, way to go. 10:05. So you got in before my inversion. Gotcha. I see where you got in. And at some point, there's going to be a beautiful pullback that will be aggressive. Eva, it is 50-50. There are days it just straight sideways. There are other days that the price action is amazing. This price action is not bad. This is actually very good price action. It's just not. Training days are not my favorite to trade. I've mentioned this several times on the channel. And what I'm becoming more comfortable with, the more I call it out, the more I watch it, is looking at these order blocks and taking trades off the order blocks when we're trending lower. And it was pretty obvious we were trending lower. I just didn't want to take the risk. I'll get to the point where I will eventually start taking those, because I've started calling them out and many of them have worked. Way to go, Jordy. I think it was Rachel. I don't know if you're still on here, Rachel. If you are interested, check out the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, where I have a course that goes through all of those concepts, all of the lingo that we talk about on stream, and it's done nicely in a concise manner. And then that also gets you into the Discord, into the trading community that we have over there, if you're interested. Links down in the description. we're having a Black Friday sale right now, so if, it is, I think it's $100 off or something like that. Look at the 2 minute. 2 minute looks beautiful. Two-minute did not close. Way to go, Brian. There's lessons in taking trades, and there's lessons in sitting on your hands. We got 1 minute and 20 seconds. That's going to be a long time to wait to see if we can get an opportunity there. We have a 30-second right here. What does the 1 minute look like? We got a 1 minute right here. The 1 minute's fine, I think. All right, so the 1 minute didn't close, so now we can wait for sure for the 2 minute. So if the 2 minute closes, that means the 1 minute closes. We'll see where this 30-second on the night, this 30-second closes here. I like the risk on the 1 minute better. Okay, TP's been taken, got 2 contracts left for the push higher. See if we can get up to this high right here. I'll take one more off there. It's an obvious level. And then we'll leave one runner to see if it wants to continue higher and reverse or if it's going to stop us out. That's the 15-minute high. That's the high I really wanted to hit. Order block here. Let's see if it stops it. Come on, order block. Hold, order block, hold. Come on. No. All right, stopped out, break even for in profit on the remainder of those contracts. Oh, and it somehow got me in something here. Let's end those. All right. All right, so we got another winner on that. That was another, what was that, 10 handles? 10, 15 handles? That's kind of what we're looking for. Those are the setups that I like. They're just obvious. I mean, look at the 2-minute on that. Technically, the 2-minute didn't even hit. The 1-minute did. So I took profit at the 1-minute. But I still think we hit this 15-minute. I still think we hit that. Let's see. Yeah. Tough one, Tyler. Direction is right now, in my opinion. Direction is right, though, in my opinion. Oh, moving higher? Yeah. Well, right now it wants to sell. It wants to sell off. Or is this a fake out? That's the question. I like the idea of higher prices. I really do. But if it runs, I'm not opposed to this 2-minute here to the downside. What does the 1-minute look like? No, I kind of want to find support here because we never grab liquidity. I would rather play this to the upside, I think. Play an inversion to the upside here. ES gave us a 15-minute green candle with a giant wick. So I'd be watching the midpoint of that to see if it wants to stay above the midpoint of that wick. Now that's aggressive. We are at the 10:50 macro, 11 a.m. macro. Look how it stopped inside of that 30-second fair value gap and closed above it. No close. I mean, if that closed right there, I would have been interested in running to these lows, but it didn't close. So the 2-minute closes in 14 seconds, along with that 30-second as well. Here's that 2-minute. See how it reacts to that level, or if it wants to push right through it. Looks like it wants to push right through it. There's a volume imbalance right here that we filled. Let's see if it wants to continue lower or if it's just going to be a nice little reaction and a push higher. A lot of manipulation in this, folks. I think honestly the only thing I'm really liking is us maybe running that. The 2-minute. 1 minute looks better. Yeah, the 5 minutes, there's a 5-minute fair value gap sitting right there that I really wanted it to hit. Oh, no 5-minute there. That was a 15-minute. We do have that 15-minute change in state of delivery. No fair value gaps. First 15-minute? Dang. Or 5-minute fair value gap is way up here. Two minutes still valid. Consolidation. Stay out. Even if it purges lower, it's not something we want to do. Nice low resistance liquidity right here, but it's all in the mix of this consolidation. Two minutes still is valid, still inside that range. I'm basically looking for this to be invalid to see if it starts one of displacing or moving higher. $18, $17 handles there. Not a bad move. Risk is 10 handles. Previous day low here is where we're finding resistance. Look at how we're staying underneath that. To me, that says we could see lower prices. I'm just looking at the higher time frame market maker model. If we are going to see lower prices through all of this, that's where we could see price come up into and find resistance from. Okay, I ended up taking that. I just wasn't going to call that on stream. I sold that at the lows, equal lows there. I played this inversion right here. Yes, I know I didn't call it. It was just a little risky play, to be honest. And if I'm 100% honest, I was nervous at calling it out and being wrong. That's the truth. But I went short right here on this inversion after we swept this and made those. And after I saw that the previous day low was being respected so many times, I went short right here. That was a little nerve-wracking, to be honest, but I did take that. The equal lows were the target. Was there a breaker on that? Right here? Yeah, I'm not a fan of that necessarily as the breaker because we didn't grab the liquidity. Yeah, the discount is the big thing. The other thing was, when I looked at the time, this candle was 1 minute before 11. So that's where I took this at 11 o'clock, or basically took it right at the 11 o'clock candle. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous in that, and I'm like, some of those trades, it's better just, I need to not worry about anybody else and just focus on the trade. That was one of them. Yes, it was the inversion. I took that inversion. On that close. It was at the same time that I was noticing the market that the previous day low was just being respected over and over and over again. And so when we sold off there on inversion, I was looking at this low to be ran. And it just so happens that it ran it all at the same time in that one candle. So, sorry I wasn't able to really point that out to you guys. I was a little nervous, if I'm honest. I'd rather tell the truth. I'm gonna close down my copier, so I'm not trading my copier account anymore. I will say though that this is a very obvious. Do it on the 1 minute. Inversion to the upside. Now that we hit those lows and we displaced lower again. Emotions are huge, man, and no matter how many times you're trading, you still have to deal with them. That was one of them. It hit all my rules. There was just look at that. That's so I closed my copier, but I would not mind a trade like that. I don't want it to do it in this candle. I guess it wouldn't be bad. I use the, yes, I use the TradingView copier. We got triple equal highs on the 30-second right here. That would be the obvious target. If we get a, if we get that inversion. Honestly, I like that we're getting a down close candle, because if we can close above that, that makes it an order block inside of that inversion. I think this is the last thing that I'm looking for. If this can play out, or we can get that, get this inversion to the upside right there, that will probably be my last play. But like I said, I've closed down my copy trade accounts, and I'm just going to de-risk and do one account as we move into the holidays. Yeah, Blake, my trade copier is the one from Apex. Sorry, it's the one from Apex, not TradingView. TradingView allows you to copy trades on there. I was reading on that and saw that. I bought the Apex copier before I realized that TradingView allows for you to group trades together. So I could have probably saved some cash or Ruski on that. It was only 150 bucks. You too, Blake. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm still excited about what we're going to be doing in the Discord, though. I know as it grows, it'll become more dynamic. But I'm gonna be doing stuff with roles inside the Discord for those that would like to participate. Roles and just working on some back testing, different models, and working together as a community. I think that would be really helpful. Well, we were wanting that to break higher. It doesn't look like it's doing that. Volume and balance. Volume and balance. Even if it closed this inversion, we have this volume imbalance right here. Okay, closed below the volume imbalance. That's aggressive. Wait, what else is down here? All right, we got one more previous day low sitting right here. Right there. Let's see if it's gonna run it. I don't know if you can do the TradingView copier with, I guess you could try to find out. I mean, have you seen the TradingView copier, BHAS? I think it allows you to. Or you do TradingView, you do all your charting on TradingView, and you just execute on TradingView. Other way around. You do all of your charting on TradingView, and you do your executions on TradingView. And for those of you that haven't, you've probably seen the discount for TradingView. I would recommend taking it. It's a significant savings. I'd recommend taking it. Relatively equal highs here. You could take this inversion, but this inversion would be subject to the higher inversion, to this bigger one right here. And I don't even care that it didn't run that low. I really don't. I think it could leave it and come back for it in the afternoon if it wants. Because below that is a 15-minute fair value gap that has not been touched. And then this inversion right here would be your inversion for a sell move right here. I'm really excited. I got some fun shorts that I'm going to work on. Just some comedic shorts. I've been thinking about some different ways that I can teach people not to do FOMO trades, or just kind of have some fun with the typical stereotypical trader. But I'm gonna try to work on some of that today. But it's definitely a stretch in my video making skills. But we'll see if we can do it. All right, let's see if it wants to run this high here. Nope. Still nothing. Honestly, it probably makes sense to target this more than it does to play the longs. All right, I'm in that short. Let's see if it wants to work out or not. Rules are if it closes above this gray box, you close the trade. And it's based on the 30-second or the 1 minute. I'll look at both, 30-second and the 1 minute, and just see which one I like. "30-second is in 15 seconds. One minute is right there. All right, so the 1 minute did close above, but the 30-second has not. Feel like that's just trying to get people out of trades. I'm not liking how much time it's spending up there. But we'll follow the rules. Take the emotions out of it. Cut the trade if it needs to be cut. Once we hit this level here, we would want to move our stop to break even. If we get to this low, we'd want to move our stop to break even. It'd be sitting right here. All right, so there's the close above the inversion. We'll jump out of the trade there and look, as soon as it closes above that 30-second, it takes off. This is why we have that inversion of a close, because typically right after it closes you can see a reaction. We didn't get the reaction to the downside at all. At all. No, no, sir. We did not. See if we can get through. We got through this level. We haven't run those highs yet though. See if we can run those highs and break through that level right there. I like that reaction that we got there. Just be really sad if we just collapse right now again. I'd want it to see just run those highs right there. And if it's not going to do that, it just tells us, hey guys, time to sit out. Time to not participate. Stay out of the trades. Let's move this out of the way. See how it respects this here. What does 5 minute look like? Look where the bodies on the 5 minute are hovering around these equal lows. And we're just getting wicks lower. I don't know if that, just noticing that. All right, folks, I think we're going to be done for the day. We're going to be done for the day. So we will, tomorrow is Thursday, so I will not be trading tomorrow. I'll be off tomorrow, and we'll see about Friday. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. So if you're on, great. If not, I may or may not be on. But we'll be back full swing on Monday, December 2nd. So God bless. You guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Stay safe. And just keep in mind, if you are on and watching and you are interested in the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, there is a discount code BF100 you can check out to get a discount for Black Friday. Other than that, God bless. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.